The holiday season is back, and along with it comes all the festivities. Hello, I'm Erin Holly.
And I'm Sam Long. Retailer Dollar Tree is now the $1.25 tree. You're watching LaSalle TV News, where the action never ends. Hello, and welcome to LaSalle TV News, where we bring you everything from 20th and Alany Avenue, Philadelphia, and the world.
There's a lot to catch up on in the next half hour, as Sam had the opportunity to interview David O'Brien about the LaSalle Collegian Podcast.
Are you looking for a new club to get involved with here at LaSalle? If so, you are in luck, because there is a brand new club here on campus. All Women, Every Color was just introduced to LaSalle this semester. The vision of the club is to bring inspiration and empowerment to members to help them unleash their passion, presence, and importance in today's world. All Women Every Color seeks to provide an environment where women of color can build relationships and lifelong bonds with other women of color at LaSalle University. The founder and president of All Women Every Color is Senior Jua Brooks, and she can be contacted with any questions or interest of joining AWEC at brooksjua@gmail.com.
As we gather together this holiday season to give thanks, LaSalle University's students and staff show their gratitude for Philadelphia's first responders with a Thanksgiving meal. This event began in 1999 and has been going on for 22 consecutive years. Run by the LaSalle ambassadors who plan meal drop-offs, serve plates, and fundraise throughout the year in order to finance this event. Their annual feast was served to our local first responders in Philadelphia Police Department's 14th and 35th Precinct, along with Philadelphia's Fire Engine 51, Ladder 29. The group brought a traditional Thanksgiving feast which included turkey, mashed potatoes, pie, and more. What a great way to give thanks to our first responders who protect our city as well as the campus of LaSalle.
We are well on our way into the holiday season, which means it is a time of celebration, joy, and lots of good food. Various nutrition professors here at LaSalle offer tips on the stigma around overindulging during the holidays. Dr. Laura B. Frank, Associate Professor of Nutrition, is a firm believer in mindful eating. Dr. Frank says, quote, "Mindful eating is paying attention to what you are eating and why you are eating it," end quote. This technique requires listening to your body and eating only when you feel hungry. Dr. Frank, along with Professor Helene Crick, published 5 tips on practicing mindful eating throughout the holiday season. These tips include giving yourself permission, not skipping meals, preparing for questions, being satisfied, not full, and returning to mindfulness after the holidays. These next few weeks may be difficult for some people to stick to regular eating habits, but following these tips will allow you to return to a mindful eating habit after indulging a little bit on the holidays.
This year, LaSalle University will be celebrating Giving Tuesday and calling upon its community for support. Celebrated around the world, Giving Tuesday refers to the Tuesday following Thanksgiving. It is a day of philanthropy that encourages giving, collaboration, and celebration of generosity at the outset of the holiday season. We are so grateful for the philanthropic contributions of our university community and friends of LaSalle, said Vice President of University Advancement, Dan Joyce. He also said, quote, "With your help, we can continue to extend the reach of our student scholarship funds, preserve our mission, carry out a variety of strategic initiatives, and strengthen the quality of our Division I student-athlete experience, just to name a few." Members of the LaSalle Collegian paper at LaSalle started a new podcast to help share stories and thoughts from students around campus. Sam had the opportunity to sit down with one of the hosts, David O'Brien, to learn more. Check it out.
Hello, everybody. Today I'm sitting down with David O'Brien from the Collegian for an interview. Collegian has a great new podcast going. It's a heck of a listen. I highly recommend you tune in. They're on their second episode. David, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
So could you give me a little more information on the podcast? I know I'm helping you guys out a little bit with it, but just for people listening where the idea came from, how it started, all that stuff.
Yeah, I would love to. So the Collegian Podcast is very similar to the features section of the newspaper, which if you also don't know what that is, it's essentially where we interview someone once a week and write an article about them. So the podcast kind of streamlines this. So we just interview them over the podcast, around 15 minutes an episode, not as much stuttering. And essentially we just discuss anything and everything about the person. Last week we had Liz McLaughlin and we discussed fast fashion and her interest in working in the fashion industry and resolving some of the issues within it. The podcast originally emerged because I wanted to add it to the paper. I thought it'd be a good idea, and myself and Kylie are the two hosts. Kylie McGovern. Yeah.
So where are you guys streaming to? Is it just online on a website, or are you guys on any streaming services, or?
You're on YouTube, and you can access the link to each article either through the channel or through the Collegian website. There's a tab specifically made for the podcast, which has every episode listed on it.
So far, I know you guys have just done 2 episodes with the third one happening today. Do you have any exciting plans for it moving forward? Any cool special guests coming on we should know about?
We don't have any specific guests coming soon. We have a few people in mind who we want to have. We may start having professors on later on next semester, but no, nothing I'm willing to reveal yet. Nothing open to the public.
Are you happy with the turnout so far? Have things been going smoothly for you?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way things have been going. It's definitely getting easier to set everything up over time, and the more we do it, the easier it gets. So I'm pretty happy with the way things are going, and I hope they continue to go the way they are.
Now, is the podcast just an audio component, or do you have video going along with it too?
So we have audio and video. You can always just listen to the audio, of course, but we also have a video component where essentially the video is just us recording. But yeah, there's absolutely video if you prefer to watch that as well.
Now, other than stories highlighting people, what else do you talk about on the show?
Variety of different topics. Last week, Liz and I kind of went off to the side and discussed Buddhism for a little bit. Yeah, we discuss anything really. Whatever really the conversation goes, we discuss wherever it goes.
Yeah, this is definitely the best kinds of podcast where the host can just bounce off each other and things can go in a tangent of different directions. I feel like being able to ad-lib on the spot really makes a podcast worth listening to. If you're just cookie cutter going off the script, it's probably just going to be mediocre in the end.
Yeah, I kind of agree. We don't really build a script or anything. We just kind of let things flow the way they flow. And I think that makes conversation a lot more natural. So I prefer doing it that way.
Now, you said you and Kylie are the two hosts. Are there any plans to have a rotating group of hosts on the show maybe once you guys graduate? Is this going to be something that you see a few years down the line still?
Yeah, currently we have no plans for any other hosts. As I said previously, like we have a few guests we have lined up, but we have no plans for any like cycling through hosts. Actually, tomorrow's episode, which will be posted on the Collegian website tomorrow morning around 7, I will be the only host because Kylie's feeling a little under the weather. But as of now, we have no plans for that. If we get close to graduation and we don't really know who would be in charge, we're probably going to talk to a few people in the Collegian and see if they'd be interested and maybe show them the ropes senior year. But right now, Kylie and I are sophomores, so it's just going to be us for a little while.
Yeah. Do you have any plans to get the show up on any streaming services, or do you plan on just sticking around the YouTube?
We're working on putting it on Spotify currently. It probably will be by next semester, but there's a few hurdles you have to jump through, so we're working on that.
Cool. And once again, can you just say where to find the podcast for anyone listening?
Yeah, absolutely. The podcast is on the Collegian website. You can just Google the Salle Collegian. It should be one of the first things to pop up on our WordPress. And there's a tab specifically made for the Collegian, so you can just click that and every episode is there.
Sounds good. Well, you heard it there, ladies and gentlemen. David, thank you so much for joining me here today. I very much appreciate it.
Happy to.
Make sure that you listen to the podcast. I know firsthand it is excellent. They are doing a fantastic job so far. I'm going to send it back over to the desk. It's time for our first break, but coming up, the Montgomery Mall has a new owner. Stay tuned.
People join Walk MS to raise awareness and funds that change the world for everyone affected by multiple sclerosis. MS attacks the brain and spinal cord. It's the most common neurological disease leading to disability in young adults. Walk MS brings communities together, creating teams with friends, loved ones, and coworkers to rally around those we care about and end MS forever. Join us. Together we are stronger. Walk MS fundraising accelerates research breakthroughs and life-changing breakthroughs. It will take all of our passion, determination, and fundraising to end MS forever. Together, we can change the world for people with MS. Join us. Register today, start a team, and raise funds at walkms.org.
MS does suck.
MS mucks with your central nervous system. Almost everything about your body, your muscles, your organs, your ability to speak, your ability to understand, your ability to move.
MS took everything from me, everything I thought was important, everything I valued.
I used to jump in a trampoline and swim with the kids.
MS has affected me being a mom because I'm sorry.
Despite MS, I will keep riding my bike.
I will continue to be the strongest mom that I possibly can.
I will still dance with my husband.
I will continue to live the life that my daughter expects me to live.
Multiple sclerosis may be a part of who you are, but it doesn't define you.
I will never stop. I will never quit.
I'm going to keep being me.
Complaining.
The Montgomery Mall has a new owner. The Cohan Realtor Investment Group, a New York-based shopping mall investment company, has bought the Montgomery Mall in a foreclosure sale for $55 million. The mall's value was declared at $57.5 million as of last August. However, only 7 years ago, the property was worth almost double that at $195 million. The property has since been foreclosed since June. The property fits in the Cohan's retail focus. In addition to 2 hotels in New York City, Cohan owns a portfolio of 50 similar second-tier malls across the country, including several in Pennsylvania, such as the Wyoming Valley Mall, Washington Crown Center, and the Lycoming Mall.
Christmas time is the most wonderful time of year, and Philly is the most wonderful city to spend it in. Visit Philly published a list of the top 26 best things to do around Philly around Christmas time. The list includes visiting Macy's iconic Christmas light show, Christmas Village, the Tinseltown Holiday Spectacular, Blue Cross River Rink Winterfest, Boathouse Row Festival of Lights, Christmas at Linvilla Orchards, and many more. Philadelphia is offering some brand new holiday attractions this year, such as the Philadelphia Holiday Parade and the New Year's Day Fireworks Spectacular. While Philly is looking forward to the holidays, remember that proof of vaccination and masks are still required around the city. More information on the top 26 must-see holiday attractions around Philadelphia can be found at visitphilly.com.
Native Nations Dance Theater is the only Indigenous professional dance company located in Philadelphia. The company began with Vanuja Hilton. Vanuja has descendants from the Blackfeet Nation in Montana Creek and Seminole. The Native Nations Dance Theater began in 1991 when her son's teacher asked her to come and do a program educating the students on Native American culture. From then, other teachers began asking for programs, and since then, the theater has grown to them now traveling the world. The mission of the dance theater is to teach the culture and history of Native Americans through song, dance, and entertainment.
A new mural honoring George Floyd was unveiled last Tuesday in Philadelphia after the first was vandalized by graffiti back in June. The mural, which is titled George Floyd Never Forgotten, shows Floyd at the forefront of Black Lives Matter protests around the world that were sparked by his death. Local artist Randall Whitfield, and Brianna Dawkins painted the artwork on a 110-foot-long wall outside of Tang Pharmacy at 5600 North 5th Street, just feet away from where the original was ruined on an abandoned newspaper stand. While the artwork mural is a symbol of the community's perseverance, Mural Arts Philadelphia's executive director, Jane Golden, says more needs to be done to end systemic racism, and the power of art can help. Quote, "We always say that at Mural of Arts that art ignites change," unquote, Golden said. "We hope that this art inspires meaningful conversations and actions for many years to come," unquote.
Philadelphia 76ers point guard Tyrese Maxey surprised several high schoolers on Friday morning at the YSI Crichton Family Support Center in the city's Germantown section. The organization provides resources for families in need in North and Northwest Philadelphia. The NBA star spoke from the heart to students who kept pushing through with school during the pandemic, while also being challenged with other life obstacles including gun violence and homelessness. Quote, "I know there was times when I needed help when I was in school or my parents needed help, and it was people that were able to help them. So when you're in that position to be able to help, you should always try to give back," end quote. The 76ers point guard celebrated 10 students by giving them each a $250 gift card, a trophy, and a certificate of appreciation.
That story about Tyrese Maxey is very heartwarming, especially during this time of year, don't you think?
I was going to say, for the holiday season, that's a perfect story we need. It's nice to see someone who's in such a position of, not a position of power, but just someone who can be such a role model to these young adults, just give back in any way he can, especially when he's been in that position before.
Yeah, especially right here in Philadelphia as well, as he is a really good player on the Sixers right now.
So, Aaron, do you plan on doing any Christmas things? I know you talked about Visit Philly and everything they listed.
Yes.
What's your holiday?
This top 26 list seems like so much fun. One of the things that I wanted to try on is this Tinseltown Holiday Spectacular. I've seen pictures of people going. There's a lot of Christmas lights and a lot of fun things to do there. Have you seen it?
I have not heard of it. I don't know what it is, but I've been to the Christmas Village for a few years. I've done all kinds of Christmas stuff around Philly. I am very excited for the holidays.
Me too, me too. It should be a really good holiday season with all these fun festivities available.
I'm extremely excited.
Coming up after this last break, a classic tradition continues. Stay tuned.
Using meth taught me everything about freedom, only not like you think. It taught me how easy it is to lose your freedom, how meth can take control until you find yourself doing whatever meth tells you to do. Before you get there, while you still can, take a stand for yourself. If you feel yourself losing your freedom to meth, ask for help. Accept the help. It's worth it. You have the power to be truly free and be the person you want to be. I know. I'm Jan, and I'm free from meth.
If you or someone you know is struggling with meth, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/meth.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
Third line, please.
DEPRESSION.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own.
Anxiety. I thought so.
Like many health conditions, help for mental illness takes professional diagnosis and treatment. And the sooner you seek treatment, the better.
Look at that. 6,000 steps and PTSD.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Dollar Tree, the famous store where most of its baseline products only cost $1, has raised its price to $1.25. This is mostly due in part to both rising inflation and supply shortages going on around the country. Although the company has prevented inflation from affecting their prices for the last 35 years, the retailer will introduce the new price point in more than 2,000 stores by December and will complete the rollout across all of its 8,000 stores by Q1 of 2022.
Typically, Thanksgiving is a holiday spent with family. Except in this case, Wanda Dench and Jamal Hinton have now spent 6 Thanksgivings together after Wanda accidentally sent a text to the wrong number back in 2016. Wanda thought she was texting her grandson inviting him to Thanksgiving dinner, but she accidentally texted Jamal. Jamal replied and said she had the wrong number, but Wanda extended the invitation to Jamal anyway and said, "That's what grandmas do. We feed everyone." He accepted the invitation and attended Wanda's family Thanksgiving. This strange pairing had so much fun that they decided to make it an annual event. Thanksgiving 2021 was no different, as Wanda welcomed Jamal and his family over for a Thanksgiving meal. Jamal posted a selfie on Twitter of him and Grandma Wanda from Thanksgiving this year. This story has warmed the public's hearts for 6 years now, and this accidental tradition will hopefully continue to occur in the years to come.
Portugal has made it illegal for bosses to contact employers outside working hours. Earlier this month, Portugal passed new labor laws because of the increase in people working from home due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. In these new labor laws, it is expected that employees must receive at least 11 hours of night's rest, during which they are not interrupted unless of emergencies. Employers are required to contribute to their staff from home expenses such as internet and electricity. Employers are also expected to meet with their staff face-to-face every 2 months. If these new rules are not enforced, employers could be fined.
The latest variant of the coronavirus, named the Omicron variant, is the new cause for concern among health professionals. This variant was first discovered in southern Africa, and scientists are still unsure of whether the vaccine is strong enough to prevent people from getting reinfected through this new variant. Experts also say this variant has several mutations that could impact how easily it spreads. So far, there isn't evidence to support that the infection rates from this variant are any greater than past variants, but experts say it's still too early to tell.
Woody, the talking Christmas tree, is back, and social media is buzzing about the bizarre holiday character. Over in Nova Scotia, Micmac Mall plays host to a magical Christmas tree with a literal face and voice. For a few years, this holiday season shopping center went without the memorable face. But after a couple of years, Woody is back and entertaining the kids and making parents remember their childhoods. Mall General Manager Tabitha Oakley talked to CBC, as it happens, about the character and the public reception. A lot of people in the community are glad to have the tree back, but some still have questions about the facial differences with Woody and why the jolly tree even went away in the first place. Woody may appear unnerving to some, like Jimmy Fallon, who highlighted the tree's return during a monologue last week, but his reappearance has been a welcome one for locals who we suppose want to share their memories of holiday fear and wander with a new generation. How about Woody?
I think that Christmas tree with the face is a little creepy. How about you, Sam?
I think that's the most terrifying thing I've seen any holiday ever. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that until today when you told me about this news story, but I don't know. I think that's a little weird. I don't think Christmas trees need to have faces. I think it's a little unnecessary.
I saw the picture on social media and I was like, I need to talk about Woody the Christmas tree, so I made sure he got his shout out. I think he's pretty funny. He makes me laugh at least. There's enough kids who cry at Mall Santas as is.
Exactly.
I can only imagine their faces when they see Woody the giant talking Christmas tree.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's great that we warned our viewers at least.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. I like it.
So we have another heartwarming story about Wanda and Jamal.
Yes.
With an accidental text spending 6 Thanksgivings together. That just makes me very happy. Did you hear about this on Twitter?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've been paying attention to this story for the last few years, but sadly last year, Wanda's husband passed away from COVID.
I did hear that.
So it seems that this year is a bit of a bittersweet story, but I'm glad that this tradition is still going on despite any hardships.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that they accidentally met over texting a wrong number, but it's good that Jamal was able to be there for Wanda when her husband passed away, and he was still able to attend the Thanksgiving this year.
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping someone invites me to a random Thanksgiving one year.
Me
That's
too.
for sure.
Well, that just about does it for this episode, but be sure to find us on the web as well as the rest of LaSalle TV on our Facebook page. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so tweet at us using our Twitter handle and start the conversation.
If you missed the scoop and want to see it, you can find episodes on our YouTube page or our LaSalle TV Philly page.
Until next semester, for Sam and the entire crew, I'm Erin Holly. Thanks for watching LTV News this semester, where the action never stops.